Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Gemmel with your Panhandle Roundup. Victoria Norgard is on assignment this afternoon as we begin today with breaking news out of Alliance. This morning at 2:24 a.m., police received a call from James Holler at 101 South Flack Avenue that he shot an intruder who forcibly entered his home. The suspect, Jerome Robb, who's had a history of burglary, was pronounced dead at the scene. The investigation is still ongoing and the case will be reviewed by the district attorney, and no charges have been made against Mr. Holler at this time. Now to an update on the Pine Ridge fire that broke out northeast of Fort Lamine near Pine Ridge Ranch subdivision. As of Tuesday night, no structures have been lost. Just under 1,300 acres of grassland have been burned at this point. Several fire crews have worked overnight to extinguish the remaining hotspots, with operations expected to continue today as well, according to KNEB News. A man who stabbed a Linden police officer in 2022 has lost an appeal. According to KNEB News, Jeremy Torres was sentenced in October of 2023 to 35 to 50 years behind bars after he reached a plea agreement on amended charges, including first-degree murder, use of a deadly weapon to commit a felony, and witness tampering. Torres claimed the sentence was excessive. The Nebraska Court of Appeals said that Torres could not show that he was prejudged by any performance of his trial counsel. And KNEB reports that 2 pounds of methamphetamine and 1,000 fentanyl pills following the arrest of a Scottsbluff man. Stephen Lockman was stopped heading northbound into Scottsbluff County and was able to stop him, and police were able to stop him near County Road X. Court documents say that 900 grams of meth were found hidden behind the stereo console of his vehicle, and Lockman also stated that he threw a bag containing 1,000 fentanyl pills out the car window when he noticed the state patrol car following him. His bond was set at $145,000. And it's official, Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen will summon lawmakers back to Lincoln within 1 month for a special session aimed at property taxes, and in his letter to the Speaker of the Legislative, the body will remain in session, quote, until it finishes its unfinished business. It will start on July 25th. In that letter, he also hinted that he'll ask lawmakers to take up the winner-take-all push that we saw towards the end of the regular session when it comes to the state's 5 electoral votes. And according to the Nebraska Examiner, the governor is kicking around the idea of having the state take over all funding for K-12 schools instead of using some of the property taxes to cover some of the cost. Currently, about 60% of property taxes that are collected are allocated towards schools. And turning to some weather now, some severe activity within greater Nebraska Tuesday evening. Andre, is there more coming our way, or are we expecting calmer conditions out there?
Well, Aaron, the severe weather potential will increase during the rest of the day today. I'm about to show you that in just a second, but we are seeing those mainly sunny conditions at this time. And as we head into our current temperatures, our temperatures at the moment are mainly in the 70s, exception there in Gordon at a really cool 68 degrees, and here in Scottsbluff at 82 degrees, and Kimball is our warmer spot at 83. But looking at the rest of the day, we do have a chance of seeing some more strong severe storms with a marginal to slight chance of severe weather for the entire panhandle, and that's going to include damaging winds and hail. And as we head into our Thursday, we're going to continue to see the strong to severe storm potential, and an isolated tornado is quite possible on the day on Thursday, and the severe weather will continue into the day on Friday as well, and damaging winds and hail will continue to be a factor, and locally heavy rainfall will be possible too, and we expect around a quarter to half an inch for locally higher total. So Aaron, the active pattern continues.
Thank you so much, Andre. Hopefully some of those severe conditions will stay out of the panhandle, so as we continue our coverage of flooding across Nebraska. Offutt Air Force Base is preparing to potentially be impacted by that flooding. The base says the commander of the 55th Wing is working with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to shore up defenses around the base's perimeter. Offutt says right next to the Missouri River and was damaged during the 2019 flooding. During this instance, they have implemented advanced flood management strategies. And new this morning, several flights have been delayed and canceled at Eppley Airfield. After the airport was briefly closed last night due to those strong storms, the online portal to check arrivals and departures is down, and the airport cited the closure on social media for damage assessment and debris removal on the airfield after high winds moved throughout the area. Changing gears as KNOP Sports Director John Clanton joins us for Panhandle Sports.
Welcome to the Sports Desk. Sydney High School graduate Carson Lealing honored for her stellar track and field senior season. Carson was named the 2023-2024 Gatorade Nebraska Girls Track and Field Player of the Year. The award celebrates the nation's top high school athletes for excellence on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. This past season, the future University of Nebraska track and field athlete jumped her way to state titles in the long jump, triple jump, and high jump. A couple weeks ago, she would earn more gold, winning a national title in the high jump at the Nike Outdoor Nationals. Now, the boys' Nebraska Track and Field Player of the Year will be announced later in the week. And finally, the West Coast Zephyrs in action on Tuesday night, taking on a scrappy Alliance team. Zephyrs picking up a 5-3 win over the senior Spartans. Westco back in action tonight, taking on Shadman. That's all from the Sports Desk. Everyone have a great rest of the day and see ya.
Thank you so much, John. Going into a few court sentencings throughout Nebraska. A Grand Island man is heading to prison in a sexual assault case. A Hall County judge sentenced 20-year-old Ryan back to 30 to 45 years in prison for first-degree sexual assault. Earlier this year, he pleaded no contest to the charge, and as a part of the agreement, a previous charge of first-degree sexual assault of a child was reduced. Beck is accused of sexually assaulting an 11-year-old girl. Court records show Grand Island police found Beck and the girl in a vehicle at Ashley Park in June of last year. Beck will also have to register as a sex offender. And the case of 2 urns containing ashes stolen from a Grand Island cemetery reached a quick end. The court records show 34-year-old Richard Boone was representing himself in court and pleaded guilty to burglary and unlawful acts with human remains. Police reported 2 urns stolen from the Grand Island Cemetery in May. They arrested Boone for it earlier this month. Now he'll be sentenced in August and could get up to 22 years behind bars. Court records listed Boone as homeless. Now in national news, the National Transportation Safety Board is preparing to release its final report on the investigation into last year's Norfolk Southern train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. The NTSB says a flaming wheel bearing caused the derailment as well as track issues, but actions by the railroad only made the situation worse. 11 rail cars came off the tracks last February carrying hazardous materials. Investigators said that the railroad and its contractors ignored data about the tanker cars even during the accident. And finally, Ford is recalling more than 550,000 of its pickup trucks because of a risk of transmission malfunctions. In a report released on Monday, the National Highways Traffic and Safety Administration says that this recall covers some F-150 trucks made in 2014. The problem is a potential loss of signal between powertrain and transmission, which could cause drivers to lose control of their vehicle. Dealers who were recently notified, Ford says it will begin mailing notification letters to owners on July 1st. And that's all we have for now. Remember to join us weekdays for the Panhandle Roundup, covering all the stories in the Panhandle that matter to you. Have a great day.